Welcome to the KM097 Buzz. Hi, this week we are talking to Andrew Guzowski from Australia. This is episode 97 of our beekeeping podcast. Okay, take it away, Gary.
This week we would like to thank Christopher and Laura Brown from Sheffield in England. They've been supporting us for a couple of weeks, so thanks guys for starting to support us. That is fantastic. And good luck for everything over the next few months. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And also like to thank Lisa Morrissey this week. She started supporting us, and thanks for all her previous purchases and all her support. She's been fantastic, isn't she?
Yeah, we're very grateful. Thanks, Lisa, for your becoming a patron. We appreciate it, and we'll make good use of that.
Absolutely. And special greetings. Happy birthday for this week. And also, special thanks for Aaron in Wellington, who has supported the KM097 Buzz for quite a while. Cheers for all your support, Aaron, and it was great to meet you down in Wellington the other week when we came to see you, or came to see Wellington.
Yeah, it was good, yeah.
And if you value what we do, please consider supporting us at kiwimana.co.nz/banana. Okay, welcome to the KM097 Buzz. I am Gary, and that is
Margaret. Over here.
Over there.
We are beekeepers from the hills of West Auckland on the wild west coast near the Waitakere Ranges and in New Zealand. Yeah.
Absolutely. And our podcast is about beekeeping, gardening, and political issues sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. Anything to do with environmental issues that could affect our bees and our girls out there. And we've also been known to go off in tangents about other issues, but today we're talking to Andrew. He's got some interesting new stuff out there, so...
Yes, we're all talking about swarms today, and this afternoon me and Margaret picked up a swarm, didn't we, in our front garden?
Yeah, it was one of colonies that I had been gifted from one of our beginners. As we had split her colony, she had so many bees, we did another split. And it's the gift that keeps giving because they've just swarmed. So now the three that I had are now, the two that I had are now three. So, wow.
That's fantastic. So thanks, Evie, for that. It's awesome.
Yeah, because they went bananas.
Absolutely. And the show notes for this podcast are kiwi.bz/swarm patrol. And you'll learn soon why that's called that.
Enjoy listening, guys.
Absolutely. And so thanks for listening to our show, because we know life is busy, and we appreciate you've taken the time to have a quick listen to our show here. Yeah,
cheers, guys, and enjoy.
Andrew is a beekeeper from Sydney in Australia, and he is the brains behind the Swarm Patrol website, which is a website used for swarm collectors. And he's been keeping bees for over 30 years. So it's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is a swarm patrol site that is basically, you can use it anywhere in the world.
Yes, absolutely. And here's what you'll discover. Why Andrew got started in beekeeping and what motivated Andrew to create Swarm Patrol. And a funny swarm experience that explains why you should always wear a veil. we know about those things, don't we?
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely.
And the show notes for this, as I said before, are kiwi.bz/swarm patrol, and all the links to their Facebook page and Twitter account are all there. So Andrew, that's a brief introduction. How did you get started in beekeeping?
Oh, look, I guess it goes back to my childhood. My uncle used to keep bees in Poland. When I was there, I would have a look and get some honeycomb and enjoy the spoils of it. Then, when I was about 30 or something, I decided that I'd like to try my hand at it myself.
Oh, fantastic. Do any of your family in Australia into beekeeping?
No, not. Well, my father was. My father, I think, got liked what I was doing, and he did a little bit, but he passed away last year at 95, so...
Oh, sorry for that loss. That's no good.
My brother dabbles a little bit in it, and some of the younger generation have a little bit of interest, but nothing really active.
Yeah, true.
they're too busy raising families and
Yeah.
trying to make a living.
Trying to make a living in this modern world, eh? It's a curse, isn't it? What motivated you to create Swarm Patrol?
As I said, I've been beekeeping on and off for many years, and probably about 6 years ago, I lost most of my hives to small hive beetle. Then, probably actually earlier than that, we realized that one of our sons was allergic to beekeeping, or to bees. So my hives got evicted from home. But when he moved out, I wanted to start a couple of hives again, so I signed up on a couple of lists for collecting swarms. I saw how inefficient it was. Having an IT background and having an IT company, I thought that I could probably do up something which was a little bit more efficient and much more timely. And that's how the idea was born, and I spec'd it out, and I got my guys to knock it up, and that's what it is. And the functionality of it is really, really superb, because it works on geopositioning, the GPS coordinates of both the swarm and the beekeeper. And when the beekeepers sign up, they can nominate the distance they're prepared to travel. When a swarm is reported, it looks at who are the closest 3 beekeepers and sends off a text message to them with the contact details of the person reporting the swarm.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Sounds like a really, really an efficient system. So it's working really well in Sydney for you?
Well, it's working all over the world.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's actually quite interesting that we're getting something like 5 to 10 beekeepers signing up to it a day, because the swarm season in Australia is really picking up. We're now over 1,700 members on it, and there's been something like over 1,100 swarms have been reported into the system.
Wow, that's awesome. And do you have any tips for first-time swarm collectors?
Oh, look, I think the best thing is to read up on it, get YouTubes, and don't be scared of the bees, because the swarms are usually fairly passive. It's very easy to collect them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're not out to get you, are they?
No, they're very gentle, although there can be instances where they can be pretty vicious. So, recommendation is always gear up, never trust.
No, absolutely. Because I mean, the thing is that if you're getting them from above your head, sometimes they will land on you.
Yeah.
You know, and that can be alarming without a veil on, can't it?
Well, look, you can never be overconfident. I had an experience. And where I was called out for a swarm, and it was a lovely sunny day. I went out with short sleeves, just a veil on, and they were over a swimming pool. So I used one of those leaf scoops to try and pick them up. And as I shook them down, they just went for me. And I think at the time I ended up with at least 50 stings somewhere, but the benefit of it was I had a cold, and within a day my cold was gone.
Well, yeah, they probably thought that you were going to drop them in the water or something, maybe.
No, I think it was just a pretty vicious swarm. But packed them all up and took them away at night, and all was good. Bees saved. Exactly.
Well, I mean, you touched on there that venom is quite a good medicinal thing, isn't it? So sometimes it's good to do, you know. And I think when you're in like places like Russia and Poland, they use a lot of that kind of stuff, don't they? And they use the propolis as well for medical reasons, you know, medical uses. So.
Well, it was interesting. A friend of mine who was raised in Russia was telling me when he was a kid. When he was sick, they would catch bees and make them sting him in the neck as basically something as a cure.
Oh, okay. What were they trying to cure?
Well, I guess a cold or any sort of illness, because it just stimulates the immune system and gets it going. And whatever the disease is, the body takes over and starts battling it.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's really good for things like arthritis and things like that, and even MS patients use it, don't they?
There's more and more of it happening.
Oh, absolutely. So how would a beekeeper get started with using Swarm Patrol?
Look, they just click on the sign up page, fill in the details, and that's it. Basically nominate how far they are prepared to travel. And just a note here, a tip, don't put too large a distance in there, because in places where there are a lot of beekeepers, I'm finding that the distance doesn't matter, because if you put in 100K, there's lots of beekeepers within that radius.
Yeah.
So there's no point. You might as well put in 20 Ks or even 10 Ks, and you'll still be notified.
Yeah, yeah.
So by putting in a greater distance doesn't mean that you will get more swarm notifications.
And so do you have situations where multiple beekeepers turn up, or how does that work?
Look, I don't monitor that, because it's really, once those messages are sent, then it's up to the beekeepers to contact the person reporting, and it's that person, I guess, who would coordinate it and would say, look, Fred is coming to pick this up already, or no one's called yet, so you're welcome to come and get it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good way to do it, eh?
Because they are in control. They are there on the spot.
And this is all totally free, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Fantastic.
The beekeepers negotiate directly with the reporter as to a fee, if they want to charge a fee or don't want to charge a fee. No, I've set this up totally using my own resources, and there's no revenue from it apart from a couple of minor banner ads, and I do have a donate button on there if people feel that they are getting value for money, just to help to maintain the site and maybe enhance it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if people get a lot of swarms off it, I think they could, throw a few bucks your way, into the season or during the season.
Yeah,
absolutely.
See, if you the interesting thing to look at is the map, because that lists both swarms and beekeepers. And as you hover over the beekeepers, it shows you in a shaded circle the distance that they are prepared to travel. So you see that there's a hell of a lot of coverage. Quite a lot of areas are now totally covered. So the key issue is to make the communities aware of the website and actually report the swarms on the website. I think this is the biggest problem at the moment. We have plenty of beekeepers now. It's just a question of those beekeepers promoting the website in their own communities so that people go to that website as a first stop to report a swarm. Yeah,
and I guess trying to get your SEO right for every city, isn't it? That's going to be the hard thing.
Well, look, there's only so much you can do with Google, and it's not enough. Not enough, and the beekeeping clubs are doing a great job, and some of their swarm reporting systems are pretty good. But this, I think, is much more efficient system than anything else out there.
Well, that's the other way to do it. Is like I know the Auckland Bee Club has they have a swarm reporter coordinator, and maybe what they could use this system by, they could report all the swarms on it, and then that would get distributed out to the people on Swarm Patrol.
Exactly.
So that's another way to do it.
A lot of clubs have a person responsible for swarms, and you ring them, or they pick up where the swarms are, and then they ring people to collect them. But it's all means that you have to be sitting by the phone, and it has to be coordinated by a person. This is all totally automated.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome.
I can just see what is happening there. I can see what swarms are being, and those on the home page. If you have a look, you can see what swarms are being reported and what swarms are being collected.
Yeah.
We're running a running list of the last 10 swarms reported and collected.
Oh, it sounds good. Oh, well, all you beekeepers out there, try and get your bee clubs to use this then, I guess. We've had quite a few swarms lately in Auckland. We had one reported today on the side of a car. So
wow,
it's starting to happen because it's just been the weather's just been so rainy, and as soon as you get a fine day, it's all on.
Well, we do have a few New Zealand beekeepers on the site.
Yeah, we're on there.
So
we're on there. So.
The more the better.
Exactly.
The more likely that swarms will be picked up. But the important thing is to actually report the swarms now.
Yes, absolutely. And so, Andrew, what excites you about beekeeping?
The bees themselves. The bees themselves, how they work, what an organized society it is. No democracy, and they all work as they should. There's no need to be voting.
and the lazy people get thrown out in winter.
Well, they're still needed. They're still needed
for a little bit. Yeah. And then they get thrown out. Yeah, that's true.
They're on a bit of a free ride, though.
Let's hope human society doesn't follow it.
For our benefit, yes.
Absolutely. So if you could travel back in time, Andrew, back to before you started beekeeping, what's one thing you tell yourself?
Oh, how to improve it?
Yeah.
Oh, look, read and read and read about it. I think there's never enough that you can learn about it. And it all seems simple, but the more you know, the more you read about it, and with the technology that there is at the moment, you can look at YouTube videos, you can belong to different groups, and the fantastic thing is that you have a lot of resources to be able to tap into to learn about beekeeping.
Absolutely. And of course, listen to podcasts, Andrew?
Definitely. Listen to podcasts and learn from experienced beekeepers who have been hands-on and know how things are done.
Exactly. And so what's your plans for the beekeeping season this year?
Just to try and keep my bees happy. Make sure they don't get attacked by the small hive beetle, and we keep away from Varroa. Yes. Has
there been any more news about the outbreak in Canberra? It was a different kind of Varroa?
No, it's in Townsville. Townsville.
Yeah.
They are trying to contain it, but fortunately, it's a different type of Varroa, so it's not a. It's still concerning, but it's not as bad as you guys because you've got the real thing.
Yeah, well, I guess the concern is that the biosecurity didn't stop it, eh?
No.
Yeah.
The small hive beetle is a big pest. Do you have that in New Zealand?
No.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
It is dreadful.
Yeah, because I saw some your videos on YouTube and it looks horrendous. It's like took over. One of the hives is like basically more. It looked like there's more beetles and bees in it.
Oh, that was amazing. That was, I think, last year or the year before. I got into a hive and it was incredible. They were just running everywhere. But the hive survived. I managed to kill a hell of a lot, and I put some the apithor traps in there.
Yeah.
And it's stabilized. But it seems to change from season to season. This year, I've just gone through my hives and I have not seen one small hive beetle. So, touch wood.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be lucky this year.
Do you think it's the weather conditions? Like certain weather makes them attract some more or something?
I think it does. Humidity and also the regions. The further north you go, the more humid and hotter it gets. And I think the more prevalent they are.
Have you guys found that if you put like a concrete base underneath it helps a bit?
No. Doesn't make any difference because that hive that I put up on YouTube, that was on a concrete slab.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, hopefully we never get it with a bit of luck. But, yeah, our biosecurity is not that great either, so sometimes things happen. You know, they appear and stuff, so we hope we don't. So
no, I hope you don't either.
Yeah, well, we're all hoping you guys never get Varroa mites because it's not a good thing to deal with.
Well, there's a lot of talk about it, and I guess the biosecurity people are making an effort to try and prevent it and keep it out of the country. But I guess only time will tell.
Yes, absolutely. It's a swarm season starting now, guys, in Australia and New Zealand. So if you want to get some swarms, sign up to swarmpatrol.com. And Andrew will be happy to see you.
Yeah, and we also have a Facebook page and a Facebook group and Twitter. So by all means, come and join us on those pages and exchange your ideas and views.
Yeah, the Facebook page is great because it's got a lot of like photos of people's swarms, you know, what they found that day. So there must be some great stories come out of that.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that people will sort of post the swarms to that. And they're also posting them onto the Swarm Patrol website. So if you look at the gallery, you can see a hell of a lot of different swarms that people have reported.
Oh, that's awesome. So it's getting a bit of a community growing there as well.
Yeah, and there's a blog area as well. So if you have any interesting stories, you can certainly put them on there.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, well, all those links will be in the show notes, guys, and that'll be kiwi.bz/swarm patrol. So get out there and find some swarms. And thanks, Andrew, for coming along tonight.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks, Gary.
Well, that was interesting. Did you like that, Margaret?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, guys, if you want to join this, check it out. It'd be, something interesting out there on the new interwebbies.
Absolutely, and it's swarmpatrol.com.
Cool.
And did you know, Margaret, that the great thing about podcast is that when you subscribe to them, the show automatically appears on your device or phone. Well, it's not totally automatic, but it's pretty automatic. So, thanks, guys. So, I really appreciate this month if you guys could subscribe to the show on your phone or your iPad or whatever device you use to listen to our show.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Be part of the Kiwi Mana Buzz.
That's it. So, thanks, guys, for listening, and we appreciate it. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with a new show. It'll be episode 98 coming up.
Yeah, and we'll be going bananas and still prepping for our 100th episode.
Yes, so if you've got any tips or tricks and you want to record them, click on Send Voicemail on our website.
Yep, right on the front page. That's on the right-hand side.
And we'll talk to you soon.
See ya!